you. The energy that you exude and that you share with us, that you raise our vibrations. We are so grateful.
Yes.
So grateful. And so, we're here to talk about gratefulness, gratitude 2.0. It works if you work it. It works if you work it. Just as TJ was saying, regardless of the circumstances, or he says something like that, we can be grateful. We're here to live from our hearts, from our beautiful, big, wide, open hearts. I'd like to share with you a story throughout my talk this morning. It's a story of a young woman. She's now deceased. This young woman was a powerful unity minister. And her theme was, it works if you work it. Her name was Johnny Coleman. Johnny Coleman. And she left a powerful legacy for students at Unity Village who followed her to live on campus and attend classes at Unity Village. Johnny's spiritual journey as a Unity student and ordained Unity minister could be summed up this way. Gratitude is the heart's response to life's challenges, and it works if you work it. It works if you work it. And so today we will follow up our lesson of a couple of weeks ago. And that title of that lesson was, Where Am I? In Chaos or in Gratitude? And we know that we now have a sense that whether we are in the midst of chaos or celebration, we can be grateful. We can be grateful. Because we know that in all things we are to be what? Grateful, yes. Our attitude is what powers our life's outcomes. And we, each of us, empower our attitude. We empower our attitude. Knowledge and skill are important in our life journeys, but even in seminary, knowledge and skill are not enough. When a student is on the ordination path, she must gain the required knowledges and skills through readings, testing, skill development, and practice. However, they must also demonstrate their spiritual maturity in their beingness. And this is accomplished through what is called the hidden curriculum. It is a person's attitude, passion, and love that they've cultivated and embodied. Now, when I first went to seminary, I didn't know what they were talking about when they said the hidden curriculum. And no one would tell me. We had to move through the studies and the practice and the being in relationship and having the challenges of learning and then knowing it. And when the challenges arise, and they did, such as pressures in handling questions from a teacher or a fellow student or a panel of judges who were there to judge you on your 7-minute talk, and it had to be 7 minutes. Okay? It's hard to come from a grateful heart because of the pressures. But how you respond demonstrates your attitude. It demonstrates how you are moving through the hidden curriculum. And so, a person's attitude is indicative of their maturity, especially their spiritual maturity, and vice versa. It can be a challenge to come from a grateful heart when you're the only student not allowed a place to live on campus. That was the situation with Johnny Coleman. When she was a student at Unity in the 1950s, however, she did not approach the situation from an attitude of bitterness and resentfulness. She responded from a place of spiritual maturity, from a place of love and determination, with an attitude of gratitude. Her challenge was solved in large part due to the attitude that she embraced and presented. Her classmates joined her to change the housing policy and practices at Unity Village. And as I said last couple of Sundays ago, according to Albert Einstein, we cannot solve our problems at the same level of thinking that created them. We can solve them, though, from a grateful heart. It raises the vibration, the energy frequency, and it facilitates clarity in our thinking. Coming from a grateful heart creates an energy field conducive to clear thinking, but how do we cultivate it? How do we cultivate it? We can't just say it. How do we cultivate it? Well, as Johnny Coleman taught by example, it works if you work it. We cultivate and we embody gratitude through practice and more practice and more practice. So how do we get better and mature in any endeavor? It's through practice. We set our intention, we recognize what works and what doesn't, and then we practice what works. TJ plays a beautiful guitar, and he sings from a beautiful place. But guess what? It requires practice. It requires practice. When we are presented with a challenge, it is our opportunity to see it as a time to pause, to breathe, and to perceive from a higher vibration. And in doing so, we can attune ourselves to the truth within us in our heart space. Spiritually, we are being called to commune with our higher power. And we are able to engage the mind from a place of clarity rather than confusion. We allow our hearts to open, and we become still and centered in gratitude. Gratitude in all that we are, in all that we have, in all that we do, in all that we share. 2 weeks ago, we recited together the 23rd Psalm. And to bring home the point that the indwelling presence of God leads and guides us through any situation, that we are filled with gratitude for its grace and mercy. Well, today I'd like to share with you another sacred message for us to internalize as we cultivate gratitude and living gratefully in our everyday practice. Brother David Stendhal Rast, a Benedictine monk and renowned spiritual leader, created gratefulness.org. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to gratefulness as a universal principle. And what has been shared with you is part of a practice that comes from his organization. So what he has said is, and I quote, "We hold the key to lasting happiness in our own hands. For it is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful." Let me say that again. We hold the key to lasting happiness in our own hands. Our own hands. For it is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful. So let's internalize that message. Let's internalize that message by creating an affirmation and saying it together that supports this truth. So I invite you to respond after me. I hold the key to lasting happiness. I hold the key to lasting happiness in my own hands. For it is not joy that makes me grateful. It is gratitude that makes me joyful. Yes. Can't you feel that? It is gratitude, coming from gratitude within you, that makes you joyful. Have you ever been in a bad mood and someone said, "Oh, no, aren't things wonderful? And you say, huh? Yeah. But when you come from gratitude, then you can be joyful. And that comes from within. It doesn't come from without. It doesn't come from someone telling you to be joyful. It doesn't come from someone telling you to be grateful. It comes from you within. Coming from your spiritual anchor, the living, loving Spirit of God within you. That is where gratitude lies. And we have the opportunity to express that gratitude regardless of the situation, regardless of the challenge, regardless of whether or not there is celebration all around us. It's coming from a place deep within us. And so, as we let go of worry and stand in gratitude for all our experiences, knowing that God is always present, we open the portal to our hearts and minds to create joy in our lives. We receive the blessings that are ours to receive. Gratitude works if you work it. It works if you work it. You bring the light. You bring the light to any dark situation by giving thanks for the light that you already possess, and by seizing the opportunity to express that light, to express it. In everything, be grateful. In everything, be grateful. For every good thing that you experience and every challenge that comes your way, be grateful. Regardless of the state of affairs in our country, in our communities, in the world, be grateful. Come from the gratitude that is within your heart. A simple statement that says, I am here and today I am grateful for life itself, raises the vibration within you and around you. And so we know it works. We have seen examples of it working. Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman wanted to be able to live on campus while a student at Unity Village like her classmates. She was African American and believed she had every right to live on campus as her classmates who happened to be white. From her heart space, for what she knew was an ordination by Spirit. She didn't need some outside entity, some outside organization to ordain her. She knew she was already ordained by Spirit, by the Spirit within her. And from that heart space, she raised the vibration among her fellow classmates. And together they changed the housing policy and practices at Unity Village. That is what? Coming from the heart, from gratitude for being. That is what it means to cultivate gratitude. That is what it means to get an A in the hidden curriculum. Yeah. Coming from gratitude, from an attitude of gratitude. She and her fellow students did not meet the challenge with closed hearts and minds. They understood the workings of spirit and worked it. When we seize the opportunity to do what is right and good, regardless of the challenge, we bring joy to the situation. We hold the key to lasting happiness in our own hands, for it is not joy that makes us grateful, it is gratitude that makes us joyful. Yes. Each day, we have the opportunity to live from a grateful heart and to be the blessing that we want to receive by engaging daily practice of gratitude, by empowering ourselves to bring joy into our lives. And so I have brought to you, through Sunshine and Dennis, copies of a practice. The first page is instructions, if you will, a little reminder of what we have been sharing today, a reminder of what I have been saying today. And then the second page provides you with an outline of what you can use for your practice. It's a suggestion. You don't have to follow it word by word, but you can use it as a template, and it works if you work it. So, my friends, together, let us affirm, gratitude is my way of life. Let's say that again. Gratitude is my way of life. Gratitude. It's our practice. It's how we bring joy into our lives. And so it is. And so we let it be. Thank you.